afternoon. It is Saturday, September 20th. I am Bruce Leonard, and this is Bruce Leonard Leans Left. While it's still legal. Still legal today. All indications are, but we don't know what's going to happen. We're fond of predicting the future on this show. I can't tell you what's going to happen now because we're in totally uncharted water, and I've never been through an authoritarian takeover before, so I don't have any previous experience to lean upon. And like I've said numerous times on this show, it doesn't surprise me the fact that Trump is trying to do an authoritarian takeover. Anybody with half a brain would have known that that's what they're going to try to do. And if you read Project 2025, you know exactly what they have planned. That's not surprising. What's surprising is the amount of bootlicking nutlickers that we have in this country who will just lay down and take it. Especially since most of these things that are going on are things that were conservative, hard rock, bedrock views not long ago. The very basis of their philosophies. Small government, states' rights, freedom of speech. They don't care about any of that now. It's all out the window. Replaced with something new, which is authoritarian fascism. They can say whatever they want to say. And like I said before, you wanted me to stop calling you authoritarian fascist, then stop doing the things that authoritarian fascists do. The gaslighting is also something I've never seen before. The level of delusion and dishonesty about every single thing. The ability to live in a world that's not even real. Totally invented. Like let's say, for instance, what he just did. What's up, Cameron? Thanks for watching. What he just did. He declares Antifa a terrorist organization. Now, I don't know if you know this, and you probably don't, but I'm going to tell you. Antifa is not an organization in any way. Where's the headquarters? Who's the leader? Do they have bank accounts? Antifa bank accounts? Do they have a nonprofit? It doesn't exist. It's a flash mob. It's an idea and a flash mob, basically. It's not anything tangible that he might as well have declared the Lollipop Guild a fucking terrorist organization. Because those munchkins invented the original witch hunt. It's insane. Okay, but here's the part you probably don't understand. Is what they're going to do is label any protest or any gathering of left-leaning people that they don't like into Antifa. And then go after them. That's what this is about. Because Antifa itself doesn't exist. It's a vague, it's an internet flash mob. Cameron, you just got doxxed? What happened? Tell us. Why did they dox you? A mega person? I can't remember. You just said mate. Are you in Australia, or are you an Australian who's living here? If you are, you better keep your passport. Oh, wait, you're white. You're all right. They won't fuck with you too much. And tomorrow, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow? You think that Donald Trump is going to get up and give a respectful speech at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, whatever the fuck it is? Or do you think he's going to use it as a Nazi rally, too? Okay. Then why you say mate? What American says mate? Anyway, no. He's not going to do that. He's going to use that to pour gas all over this fire and tell everybody, all of his followers, that they need to go after leftists, any leftists that they know. That's what's going to happen. No, I mean, I guess I'm back to trying to predict the future again, but I don't think that Trump's going to take this moment to be trite and respectful for the first time in his fucking life. It's not going to happen. He's got a stadium full of people. He's going to use it as a Nazi rally. And then as soon as it's over, he's going to go, well, they call us Nazis. Why do we call you Nazis? Because you're fucking Nazis. You see, today they said the Pentagon, they got reporters now got to sign a pledge to the Pentagon that they will not gather any evidence or any stories or information that's not already pre-selected by the Pentagon. And if they break that rule, they take away their press credentials. I remind you once again that the First Amendment specifically states that you should not infringe upon the press. These people don't give two shits about the Constitution or the law. Tom Homan, it just came out, Tom Homan was caught by the FBI accepting $50,000 in a brown paper sack, promising that he would get these companies contracts in the new administration, which he did. FBI was assembling a case against him, and Trump made it go away, and then made him border czar or whatever the fuck his name is. Homeland Security. What is his title? I don't even remember. Grand Wizard. That's what I call him. He's the Grand Wizard. What's up, Erica? Like I said in the beginning of the show, I am no longer trying to tell you what's going to happen because I don't know what's going to happen. I think you should buckle up, though. I've already started, assembling shit. I've been assembling weapons and shit for a while, but then I was thinking, man, I need to fucking think about other shit. So give me some survival gear and some emergency food. Start making all those bags, what do they call them, bug out bags. Because this shit could fall apart at any second. Or pop off. People start killing each other all over the place. Somebody shot at an ABC affiliate. I don't know if you saw that story. Somebody shot at an ABC affiliate the other day, which means some person pissed off that they took Jimmy Kimmel off the air, shot up the place. There's crazy people everywhere, of all stripes, and Trump is doing nothing to try to unite these people at all. If anything, he's trying to further stir it up and throw gas in it and hope that it catches on fire, because you know what'd be good for them? That. Because you know what they could do then? They could pull out the military. The real military, not the National Guard. That's why they're running practice runs on Venezuelans. It's going to be you next. And all these people that are happy about it and don't realize that, like I said, they're playing with fire. Because once an authoritarian takes over your country, there's no telling who he goes after. Everyone's in trouble. But see, they don't get that part. I mean, I guess some of them are groveling bootlickers enough that, they would never do anything. They're slaves, basically. But the rest of us, of all stripes, I don't think that people realize what could really happen. Julius says, he says the press is the enemy of the people. Fuck dumbass, the free press is the people. Yeah. Yeah. But see, what you don't understand is he doesn't see it that way. He doesn't care about America the way most people do. He doesn't, and that's why I say it's surprising to me is the amount of people who are willing to just give up their freedom voluntarily. They're like, yeah, he's cleaning up crime. It's like, it's not cleaning up crime. Let me tell you something right now. He said, as soon as the National Guard leaves the streets of Washington, D.C., the crime's going to come back. It's a myth to think that you can eradicate crime completely. It's not going to happen. And he's like, oh, we almost eradicated crime. Yeah, nobody's going to commit a crime when they know that the National Guard's standing on the corner. It's just common sense. Like, I'm not even a criminal. I know that. Shit. Like, you think we should rob that 7-Eleven? I don't know, man. There's a Humvee parked outside. Maybe we should wait. And the other part of it that's bizarre is the having to continue to just go about your daily business and pretending like nothing is happening. You go, oh, everything's normal. People are like, why are you so ate up with the politics like that? Because there's a lot of people in this country who are going to get caught out, who don't know what's coming, or what could possibly happen. And when it starts happening, they're going to be like, what? Hey, they are not ready. Now, again, I'm just preparing for, like I said, prepare for the worst, expect the best. But if you're reasonably intelligent at all, you should feel the vibes and know that we're on the precipice here of, like, something really bad. I don't know what that looks like or what it is, what happens. I don't know. But I feel like this whole society can unravel at any second. I might be, people might say, you're crazy. Say, well, they said I was crazy 10 years ago when I said that this was all going to happen if you elect Donald Trump to be president of the United States. And here we are, 10 years later. Most everything I said has come to pass. And there was a record of it. I mean, there's still a pretty long record on my page now, but there was a record of it from the very beginning on the Bruce Leonard, but I got banned for life. They erased all that. But if you could see it, that's exactly why I had made it too. And like, hey, one day somebody can go back and see what happened, because I was calling play-by-play the entire time. Because I knew that something bad was going to happen, what they did was empower the darkest forces in this country. The ones that were always there under the surface, but you didn't know that they were there. You know, the white supremacist movement, and the alt-right, and the you know, you got to give credit to, which is, it's very sad to say this, but it's true, is Richard Spencer. That Charlottesville rally was when the right really, really united. Like, that's what the name of it was, Unite the Right, and it was very successful. And that's when they let the white supremacists right out of the box, and they let them march down the street with them torches, and they said, see if we can get away with this, and they did. And Donald Trump defended them. And then people say, "Oh, you didn't defend them, man." Like, he didn't condemn them. He didn't say he didn't want their votes, did he? Julian, yeah, I really wish I'd taken screenshots of your original account. You caught pretty much all of this. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry to have been right, to tell you the truth. But what did people say the whole time? They said I was crazy. And now I'm saying this now, I sound even crazier, but I'm telling you now. You should get a bag. You should be prepared. You should have some basic survival gear. You should have some guns and some ammunition. Because you might not need it, but you're going to want it if it happens. And again, just like that thing, was like no government declares themselves to be a fascist government, right? They just become a fascist government, and then they start cracking down on anybody who's against fascism, which is what they're doing now. But it's the same thing about a civil war or whatever could happen. Is no one's gonna say, "Hey, there's a civil war on November the 15th. It's gonna start." No. It's just going to start. And if you're not ready, you're going to be like, "Oh, shit." It's like they put you in an NFL game with no pads on. You're going to get killed. And that's the bottom line. I hate to be saying this, to tell you the truth. And I'm not advocating it. I want to make that perfectly clear. I'm not saying that that's what should happen. And I'm not saying that violence of any sort it's not. Like I said before, I'm a secessionist now. I wish we would just peacefully decide to part ways. Because we're going to part ways one way or the other. I mean, to me it seems inevitable at this point. The system itself, the machines that they've created to make money. Here's my question. If we did do that, and they got their own country, what happens to their machine? Is everybody still going to sit around and stew and propaganda all day long when they live in a country that is what they say they want? Who are they going to hate? How are they going to, their whole existence is built upon having an enemy to hate. But what happens if you give them their own country and now there's no enemies to hate? I mean, I guess they could sit there and talk shit about people in other countries. Or, I'm sure they just talk shit about us still. It's their favorite thing to do. Yes, Julie, as soon as Trump said on national TV that he wanted to be a dictator on day one, I knew that he meant it. Now he's fulfilling his statement. Well, of course. It was all right there. Project 2025 was out there. That shows you how little people invest in taking the time to look into shit or reading. Like, we don't read in this country. That's another problem. It's like, I mean, I'm sure that's a worldwide problem now because everything is fed to you by AI and audio books and YouTube videos and TikTok. Nobody reads books anymore. So you say, read this Project 2025. Oh man, It's to read the forward, and this is a playbook for an authoritarian takeover of a Christian nationalists and white supremacy in the United States. And then, man, I'm tired of it, man. It's like- Never picked it up again. It's all in there. The FCC chairman, who is now state censoring network television, he wrote the media chapter of Project 2025. Coincidence? Remember Trump said he didn't know nothing about it. Yet somehow all the people in his administration all wrote a chapter or made videos for Project 2025. They're all tied to the Heritage Foundation. He knows nothing about it. It's just like what he's saying now. He said 97% of stories are bad about me. It's like, well, first of all, you're a bad dude. And so people tell the truth about you. It's pretty bad. And second of all, you know what that number comes from? It's not even an official number. It's like some right-wing group of people who just sit around and watch TV all day and mark down, that's bad about Trump, that's bad. 97% of all the stuff we saw on Tuesday was bad about Donald Trump. They have their own networks. They have their own channels. They do nothing but propaganda all day long. And they say they don't have a voice. That's what they say. They got all the podcasts sponsored by Russian money. That's why I started this show. As I said, they own the podcast sphere. There is nobody out there. I mean, there is. What's his name? Hassan Piker. He's out there. You know what? I've never even watched his show. Not one time. I probably should. Well, I didn't really. I'm glad I didn't know what it was like, because I wanted to create my own show. Like, I haven't followed. I don't really watch podcasts that much. I mean, I will say this. I listened to most of the Joe Rogan's library from the start until he started, fucking getting. At a certain point, it became unlistenable. It's like, this is unbelievable. As a person who likes journalism, you can only, he doesn't challenge his guests at all. He just lets them spew whatever. He just lets them get away with it. It's like, you have to, at a certain point, it's like Trump. Trump talks and everything that comes out of his mouth is bullshit. But yet they don't say anything. They just let him get away with it. And that's why we're here now. It should be a pretty much agreed upon thing by most human beings that the way to solve problems in the world is to talk about real problems in the world and try to solve them, and not make up bullshit problems that aren't even real to try to like they're eating the cats and dogs. Like, they're not eating the cats and dogs, but they needed to vilify these immigrants. So they tell you that story even though they know it ain't true. Because they're not interested in solving problems. I saw some post, I don't know how recent it is or real it is, but that this congressman was talking about, I just introduced a bill to ban Sharia law in the United States. And you're like, okay, but that's not even a problem, is it? For one, and for two, if you got to a place where somebody was trying to instill Sharia law in your country, you think that the laws you had before fucking matter? You'd be like, we want to install Sharia law, but goddamn it, Congressman Johnson wrote this bill that says we can't. That's what I'm saying. It's pointless political theater. That's all they have. It's just like that thing they did yesterday. It was like, we're going to make everybody vote to honor Charlie Kirk, and then when the Democrats didn't vote for it, for whatever reason. They're like, this is shameful. You want to vote for it. But the fucking day before, they voted against fucking releasing the Epstein files. And that's why they did the Charlie Kirk thing. So people wouldn't talk about how they voted against releasing the Epstein files. I give them this: they're very good at the distraction game. It's like, oh no, we just didn't vote for the Epstein file. We gotta do something. We'll put them on the record about Charlie Kirk. And again, all this trying to martyr Charlie Kirk and pretend like he was a great guy, and like, look, I'd said 100 times already, I don't think the man should have been shot for saying whatever he said. But the things he said were, he's like, oh, he's helped spread Christianity. That's Christianity? That's what you call Christianity? Being racist and saying black women are stupid and all the things that he said? That's Christianity? And you wonder why, I'm not a member of the fucking church. I grew up in it. I saw through it right away. It's a brainwash machine, like everything else. Most of organized society is a fucking brainwash machine, man. The smarter you are, the more you see through things, the more you're just like, man. So all these, painters and writers and geniuses, they're all loners and they live by themselves because he lived outside the system. Yeah, because the system is, like I said, it's a brainwash. All of it. All the way down to your minimum wage job. And they try to convince you that 7-Eleven cares about you, Now scrub the floor. It's like, it's unbelievable. And if you've never been to a corporate convention, then you don't really know. That's when you really see what's going on. It's a cult. At the highest echelons of any corporation, it's a cult. Those meetings, those things they have, it's like a cult meeting. I mean, even the most benign shit, like cars. In Vegas, they have this thing where all the car dealers get together and they wheel out all the new cars that are going to come out that year, and it's very top secret. They put like a tent over top of the parking lot so that you can't drone or film from overhead the cars, because they're all secret, because they're not been released yet. And then they drive them into an arena, they put them on a stage. But anyway, they give all these speeches and they rah, rah, rah. It's like a church or something. It's a cult. Capitalism is very cultish. I mean, I don't know. I would imagine it's like that. I mean, international conglomerates, I'm sure it's the same way. But I'm saying anything that's organized in society is like very cult-like. I could never get down for it, I guess. I don't know. I guess because I'm an only child, I grew up alone. I never really developed those society. And like I did make friends, but I moved. I went to at least 5 schools before I was in the 5th grade. I went to 2 different kindergartens. I went to another school for the 1st and 2nd grade, and then I moved out to Florence for the 3rd and 4th, and then the 5th grade. I moved out to Walton, so it was another school. So, you're always making friends and then having to leave. And you're young, so you don't have you're not like, well, we're gonna stay in touch. I'll come visit you. You can't do that. You just lose your friends. So I guess through that process, I just didn't get the cult gene of like needing a group of people to make me feel like I'm happy. I've always kind of been alone and on the outside, just watching. And they tried to take me to church, but that didn't work. Because the same thing. You're like, this is fucking weird. You know, everybody's chanting at the same time, and everybody's fucking, you know, singing songs about being good people, but you know they're not good people. You're like, you're just bad as everybody else. Like, you're just here to make yourself feel better about all the bad shit you do. And same thing. Like, I've never, I guess because I don't have all those relationships, I don't have the opportunity to be a fucking, you know, shitbag and fuck people over and treat people like shit. Or I just never felt the need to do that to people. You know, I got divorced because I cheated on my wife, and I felt guilty about that ever since. That's like the worst thing I've ever done. She's forgiven me for it, but I ain't forgiven myself. You know, it's like it was a shitty thing to do. That broke my fucking word, which I don't ever do. You know. But I was drunk, and then again, I'm not using that as an excuse, but I was drunk at the time. You know, it was like all the time. You know, I was a fucking alcoholic at that moment. And I made dumbass decisions. It's not, I'm not blaming it on that. That's it. I take full responsibility for it. But most people, that's how they live their lives, right? Going from one shitbag situation to another, and fucking over whoever they can fuck over. People fuck their families over all the time. You know, it's like people are shitty. If you cheer because immigrants are locked in a tent in a swamp somewhere and you're cheering that and wearing a t-shirt for it and shit, you're a dick. I hate to break it to you. You're just an asshole. People have lost their humanity, and the internet has made it worse, because I said everybody's living in a bubble where, you know, most of their attention comes from, you know, inside the screen. And it always sounds ironic saying that, like I said, as I'm doing this show on the internet and you're watching me. You know, it's like, it feels like contradictory for sure. But I don't do this show because I'm looking for clicks, likes, and attention. I'm doing this show just like I ran my Facebook page for, you know, whatever, for the last 15 years. I've always wanted to be a journalist. I mean, I don't. If you follow me for a long time, you probably figured that out by now. It's like people I say, if you could go back and do anything different, what would you have done? Like, I would have been a reporter. You know. People should know what's going on. And so I started this show for the same reason why I ran my Facebook page. I never ran my Facebook page for likes and attention. It's all about, you know, trying to be social active. Well, that's nice, Julie. Julie says she feels like she's hanging out with a friend when she watches the podcast. Yeah. Well, I'm glad. That's why I said, like, I'm not doing it, and I said that before. Like, I'm not trying to change someone's mind or tell them what to think. I just tell them what I think, you know, and take that for whatever it is. I can't just sit around while this is all happening and not say anything about it. Then you feel like you didn't do anything to help. I feel like me going to work with the Massey people, I'm gonna learn something there too. I think, you know, I don't know what. You know, I might get there and be like, oh my God, I hate these fucking people. But I hope not. I hope to bridge the divide a little bit. I hope to, you know, for them to see, like, hey, there's a liberal guy but he's pretty all right, you know, and to see me as a human being, and maybe that'll stop this, in little ways, this momentum towards whatever's gonna, you know, bad fucking shit. We need to learn to talk to each other again, and realize that we have things in common, and start there, and then work our way out. What Trump has done has got us all thinking about all of our differences. And there is an element of me that I will never forgive them for mainstreaming white supremacy and racism, things that are horrible, and that we've been working for. Trump. I don't know if you saw this. Trump said they're going to take away the pictures of slaves and the pictures of people with scars and things. He said, "Oh, I got to get rid of that." Well, why? You're saying it didn't happen? See, that's the thing. They want to. Julian says she got a question. When I move back, see, I don't know if I'm gonna. When I move back to Vegas, do you plan to keep this show going, even if it's once a week? No, but first of all, I think even if I move, I could do this show anywhere. If I was on tour, I could do it on the road from hotel rooms with the laptop, um, or just with my phone. Um, so I think I'll continue to do the show. Um, Although one day I might be doing it from a bunker or something. It's day 162, and they've been chasing me for half a year now, but I've managed to elude them. Eating cans of spam like my fucking bit. That's like tuna fish. That's what I'm going with. No, spam's not good for you. I mean, it's good, but it's too much salt, man. You can't eat spam all the time. You have a fucking heart attack. So I've just collected cans of tuna. It's like you can eat tuna straight out of the can if you have to. It's good protein and it's not really fattening. It's don't have all that salt in it like that. Yes, candlelight. In the theme song, I will change to "Life During Wartime" by Talking Heads because by then copyright infringement won't matter. Like, there ain't no copyrights in the apocalypse, It's like, all that shit's out the window. um, And like I said, I grew up here, so I know how to fish. I can. I mean, I haven't hunted a lot, but I know what it is, and I know how to do it if I have to. And I have all the stuff that I need. I have a rifle that's big enough to kill a deer or something big. So if I had to, I could climb up in a tree and sit there and wait. For a deer to come by and shoot it, get me some meat, and I've watched enough Naked and Afraid and all that shit. Like I think pretty sure I could figure out how to fucking smoke the meat up, so it would stay good because I've seen them do it 1,000 times on TV. I never tried to do it myself, but it seems pretty straightforward. Yes, Blair Witch type of film, right? Like have a GoPro where they're actually chasing me. I managed to elude them in the woods. Plus, I have several places I could go around here that I think I would be, that are out enough that you'd be relatively safe, or you could, fortify yourself, defend yourself if anyone came looking for you. But you can get out in the country pretty easily. Once you get out of the cities in this part of the country, it's just woods and shit. My dad has property out in Brookville, 14 acres, and my aunt's place out in Richwood. It's pretty big and up on a hill. And you can see people coming if they're coming pretty far away. And then my other friend has a homestead in Dry Ridge, which is even farther out, way out there, And you could go out there. I said, and there's woods there and shit, which means there's animals and all kinds of things you could hunt. He was just saying the other day, like showing how he shot some birds. He was just cooking these birds over a fire. You could feed yourself. You don't need civilization. And if the shit hits the fan, the best thing you could do is get out somewhere. Like I said, If I lived out west still, I would just drive to like Montana or something. There's lots of places where you're just out there. Except in Montana, it's not a lot of woods. Everything's pretty open. So I don't know how you would. I'm sure you can hunt or whatever, but I don't know how you would. It'd be harder. Here, as I said, everything's pretty set up for, and there's lots of lakes and creeks and things that you can fish. You could easily, like I said, get enough food to eat um, if you knew how to do everything else. It's wild, dude. I always watch these shows. And I always laugh and be like, this is fucking, these people are crazy. But then now you're like, fuck. Those people are ahead of the curve. Well, I don't want to live in a bunker. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't do that. I can't live like that. I'd rather die walking around, so I'm going to be walking around. So if you're in the apocalypse, you might see me strolling around. Because I couldn't just live like it's like I said. Some of these people on the doomsday preppers, they like take like truck trailers and bury them in the back, under the ground and shit. Like, and you're like, I couldn't live like that. Go down in some bunker and just be in there. Like we could stay in here for years. We got enough food. We got all. It's like, yeah, but what kind of? You might as well be in prison. If you're gonna be out bugging, if you're bugging out or whatever they say, and then the world is ended, like I'm not gonna live in a hole, right? Seasonings, Julie. What? I could always grab that shit at the store. And that's like the least. That's like the last part. You gotta have some shit first. It's like that fucking. There's a Netflix show about Dennis Nielsen, the guy that killed those people in England and buried them under the floorboards in his apartment. And the very beginning of that is like him talking about how he had some ramen noodles or something in the prison, and he's like, they're not very good, and he's like, but I have this hot sauce and this other stuff. And then he's like, not too bad now. It's like seasonings. I don't know why that made me think that, because like I said, I do it all the time. I take ramen noodles to work sometimes, and then I buy like some chicken, they have chicken legs and chicken wings at the deli counter, and so I'll buy a chicken leg or a couple chicken wings, and I tear up all the chicken, and I put it in my ramen noodles, and I put a little hot sauce. It's like, and all of a sudden, it's almost like ramen that you got at a restaurant. It's like, of course, the noodles aren't as quality as and you go to a real ramen place, because those are fresh and handmade most of the time, and they're very good. But you can take your, like I said, 75-cent bowl of ramen and turn it into something better than just 75-cent bowl of ramen. And I always use less water than they recommend. Makes the this broth stronger, more flavorful. But I don't, like I said, I've never thought in a million years that I would be advocating these things, because it's wild that that's where we're at in this country. I never thought, people always talk about stuff like that, but you never think like, oh, you're gonna be living through it. It's like, I guess we are. Country's relatively young, so most countries that have been around a long time been through this. Spain had several civil wars. Everybody knows what happened in Ireland. I guess, England had a bunch of civil wars, but they were like a long time ago. But still, they did. So the fact that this is, I mean, in Italy, like, Danielle was talking about Italy, and that's something even not long ago, the years of lead. He was alive when that was happening. And I'm pretty sure that what's going to happen here is going to be kind of like that. It's just going to be random shit here and there, on both sides. And everybody deluding themselves into, if we just do this, it'll solve the problem. Like, they blow up a bomb or kill a bunch of people, and then they go, oh, we got to kill a bunch of them, like, and then and just go on for, however long until people realize, well, that's not going to solve the fucking problem, because it's not. That's why I say we should jump right to secession. We should really have that conversation. How can we make the map so that it works? Let them have the South and like all the way out to Texas. I was thinking about it today. If you go below Virginia on the East Coast and take the Mason-Dixon line, wherever the fuck it is, and the border states who were border states in the Civil War, they could decide by vote or whatever which way they want to go. But I'm saying go all the way out to Texas. Or maybe let them have Arizona, too. And then the rest of it be blue on top and on the sides. But California ain't going. So, it'd be California all the way up to Oregon or whatever, Washington, and then over. But see, the problem is those states in the middle. A lot of those states in the middle are Republican states, like Montana, Idaho, the Dakotas, but then there's Minnesota and Wisconsin, who are blue. So that's the thing. Is like, how do you do it? But I think that's a much better alternative than everybody killing each other. I guess we should start on that now. Put the AI on it. It's like, draw a map. It's like, how can it be split the country in two, like in a way that everybody can get across without having to cross through the other one, like. That's the thing. It's like, there has to be a way to get across, all the way across, from the East Coast to the West Coast. So, it's not easy. I guess you could just make the map and say, either you got to move. Yes, Julia. She said the West and East Coast states are already establishing their own CDC-type agencies so they can do it with other agencies and prepare for secession. Yes, I believe that that's part of the gig. They're already setting up a structure for another federal government. Start with that, and then you can move on. I said I think it would be an interesting political experiment. Let's run our philosophies side by side. Let's see what happens. You get the liberal philosophy in the blue part, which has socialized medicine, paid sick leave, and paid maternity leave, and all the things that people want. And then let them continue to do this, whatever the fuck this is. They can fucking serve the billionaires. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. There are rich people who would live in the blue part and pay big taxes. Because they're not shitbag human beings. Not all rich people are shitbags, There's a lot of them that would pay taxes. They've already said that. There was a big group of billionaires that asked them not to pass the big beautiful bill because they didn't want. They said, let us pay taxes to help people. And they were like, nope, you need a tax break. So I don't believe that all the billionaires would leave the blue part, because that's what I'm saying. Some of them, let the evil billionaires have their little minions, and see how long that lasts. I don't think it'll last very long. Plus, they'll have them doing farm work and shit because they won't have no immigrants. Do you see what he did today? He put a $100,000 fee on an HB1 visa. You know what that means? Another brain drain, and people are going to leave. Smart people who are here to do, doctors and professors and scientists who are here working on HB1 visas. They're not going to pay $100,000 to keep their fucking visa. They're going to leave. What happens then? That's what I mean. Like, if we're going to do this, we need to do it now because he's destroying everything. And we need to set up a place where we could, capture all that shit that he's throwing in the trash can. Because it's going to be messed up because the blue part will have to close the border to the red part because they all got fucking measles or something. I mean, I don't know how that's would all work. Pritzker is trying to organize agencies to pass legislation that protects our blue state from tyranny. Right? Again, which is the first movements towards secession. I believe secession is, like I said, it should really be a serious discussion. It should be on the table because it's better than the alternative, which is, like I said, everyone fighting and killing each other. And people don't think that can happen. They're not paying much attention. Like this country's a powder keg, man. And Trump is not capable of the type of leadership needed to unite people. His whole thing is dividing people. That's how he got into power. That's how he's trying to hold on to his power. So tomorrow, like I said, he's not going to all of a sudden turn into a thoughtful, considerate human being, talk about Charlie Kirk's life, and then walk off the stage like a regular person would. No. He's going to give a firebrand speech about how they need to destroy the left. It's going to turn into a Nazi rally. And then they will immediately, again, like I said, afterwards go, why do you keep calling us Nazis? It's unbelievable this is. I don't even know what to say anymore. I've been talking for almost an hour, so I guess I have something to say. But I'm running out of shit to say about it because it's also grim and depressing. I don't see a way out. That's the thing is there's not a lot of leaders who are. And they're covering up for the things they're doing. They blew up another boat in Venezuela. Just killed 3 people. They don't give any evidence. If they say that these people are running drugs or whatever, but they don't show any evidence for it. They just blow up some people and show you a video. All right, blow up another one. What the fuck? That this is against like every international laws and rules. Like, you can't just start blowing up random boats because you feel like it. But that's what they're doing. And sooner or later, somebody's going to fucking do something to us. And go, hey man, you set this precedent that we can just blow people up in international waters. They're making the world a less stable place. All the stuff that's been tamped down, for our whole lifetime, really, it's after World War II. They've managed to keep, the fires contained. Well, it's like a wildfire now. It's not contained at all. Russia's flying over everybody's fucking airspace like it's nothing. And Trump, what's he doing about it? Nothing. What do you mean say, oh, he's a Russian asset? And people go, oh, you're fucking crazy. And now look, Putin's doing whatever he wants. Trump ain't doing nothing about it. And still people are like, he's the greatest president. You're like, this is fucking insane. It's like a bizarro world. It's like an episode of the Twilight Zone. Like, this can't be real. People can't see what's happening. right in front of their fucking face. They don't even hide it anymore. It's just like, we're gonna do what we want, and then fuck the laws and norms. And the guy in Israel is actively, did you see that, Julie? The guy in Israel is actively talking about how we've already demolished Gaza, and now we just need to build on it. And like they just take it over, talking about it as real estate. I'm not even making this up. It's true. Remember when Trump said, "Oh, we built a Gaza like Riviera in the Gaza Strip"? What are you gonna do with all those people? It's pure insanity. There's nothing else to say about it. It's yeah. This guy's a member of the right wing, Netanyahu faction of the government. So they've already demolished. Now all they gotta do is build. Still no plan about what the people, what happens to the people that live there. That's what I keep saying. I keep seeing on TV. They're like, Israel bombed. What? Like, and he's like, we're at war. Who are you at war with? Those people in the tent. Like, it's like everybody's living in a tent now. What kind of opposition do you think that they could fucking present? He's like, we're at war with them. Like, dude, they're living in a tent. The fuck do you think they're gonna do to you? He's still dropping bombs on them. It's insane. All you can do is shake your head. Or I laugh, but it doesn't mean that I fucking think it's funny. If you don't laugh, you go insane. I mean, it is funny on some level about how fucking stupid and evil human beings really are, and how we won't face that. Yes, their plan is to wipe them off the earth. Yes, Julian. I agree with that. That is their plan, or that's what they want to do. And nobody's stopped them yet. The other countries are like, Europe is starting to be like, well, we'll recognize the Palestinian state. Well, what's the Palestinian state? Those tens. They're living in tents, bro. There ain't nothing left. I saw one video of the Israel bomb, like it was like all rubble. There was one building left, and they're like, "There's one building left. Get it!" Like, this is fucking crazy. He's like, it's a hospital. Oh no, we don't care. Like, this is the world that we live in. And people go, human beings are good. We're not fucking good. I mean, they're good people. You come across them all the time, and cherish those people when you do. But generally, as a species, we're fucking horrible. We're filled with racism and bigotry and violence, murder. It's like have you ever seen like stuff about like the Middle Ages and the Renaissance? Like, there's all these fucking tools that people designed to torture people. That's all they are. It's like some guy just sitting around like, he's a brilliant inventor. What's he invent? He invents devices to torture people. He's come up with this one yesterday. It's called the ball buster. It's a vice that you put on guy's testicles and you crank the thing and you should hear him scream. You're like, this guy's brilliant. You're like, dude, human beings are fucking terrible, evil people. What the Vikings said, that thing, the blood eagle or whatever it was called. It was like designed to be like keep you alive the whole time so that you would suffer, because really, like I said, deep down inside, human beings are evil. Most of them. And even the good people are got to fight those impulses, to be evil pricks. And that's why I don't think there's much hope for us. When I said religion and all that shit is just a cover. You need God to forgive you. Like that's the whole point of it. It's like, please God forgive me because I've been a horrible piece of shit. And that's what religion is for. To try to make people feel better about being a human being, because the things we do you cannot justify in any way. It's like, or I can't, at least, because I don't participate in it. And I wear that like a badge of honor. And I like to thank everybody for hanging out with me. I think I've had the most people today than I've ever had on a Saturday, and that means a lot to me. Thank you. It means people are starting to watch this show finally. I've been toiling away virtually nobody for several months. So thank you for hanging out with me. I said we're gonna go through this journey together if you keep hanging out. And that's all I got to say. I'm gonna go out now. I'm gonna go down to the Oktoberfest and then go listen to some live music. I'm gonna try to enjoy life. You need to do that. Don't stew in this and let it overtake you. Like I said, you guys still try to enjoy the days that you do have. So thank you for hanging out with me. I'm Bruce Leonard. This is Bruce Leonard Leans Left while it's still legal. Thank you.